What is Magic Eden?
Got me on that one.
It's an NFT marketplace.
Oh, nice.
It's chewing into both OpenSea and looks rare.
Nice.
Interesting.
Okay, we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Mostly just
Woo.
lady. Welcome again to another episode
Hello.
of the Consensus Crypto Podcast, episode number 12. As usual, my favorite co host, Lisa from the block. Welcome, Lisa.
Who?
So today we decided to kind of take a look at some of the most useful tools that we use across our industry and in the markets, and just kind of do a little bit of educating and showing off of some of the stuff we regularly use. And as we went down this little rabbit hole, Lisa, as per usual, finds all the best things, and I am just never ever surprised by that fact. Um, so, what should we start with today?
I think NFTs.
NFTs. And which tool in particular would you like me
I
to
think
pop
you
up
would
first?
I think maybe just persona. Like if I'm a buyer, what tools am I going to look at, right? Or if I'm a seller, what tools am I going to look at?
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe even just from a buyer's perspective, because there's so much on the NFT side, things you can analyze, marketplaces you can look at.
Yeah.
So maybe we could start there.
Okay. Um,
So as a buyer of NFTs, what type of tools would I want or could I have to
mm-hmm.
help me make decisions, um, analyze the NFTs and markets and those types of things?
Absolutely. So, which tool specifically should we pop over here and look at first? Um,
I think, if you ask me, I think starting with the marketplace is probably maybe the most important thing,
the
depending
marketplace.
on,
Okay. A
marketplace. So,
marketplace.
right.
Popped
So
open.
the marketplaces in general, what does the spectrum of the marketplaces look like?
Yeah.
How are they different? What purposes are they serving that might be different? Um, those types of things. We could
Mm-hmm.
definitely explore that.
And so I'm pulling up a couple of NFT marketplaces here. JPEG.gg. And let's bring you back around and make sure this is all working correctly. No, wrong button. Window capture. Oh, okay. So, and boom. So there you are. So what I've got open right now is JPEG.gg is a pretty awesome. Oh no, it's not JPEG.gg. It's JPEG.store. Sorry, JPEG.gg is a totally different tool. um, so JPEG Store is a pretty good little marketplace. You can connect with looks like Nami, Eternal, and Flint, which it makes sense because it is an ADA NFT marketplace. So what do they
So why did
call
you start with that store, I
it?
guess?
It just was
Give
the
give
first
the
one that kind of
listener,
popped
okay.
into my
Let's
mind.
talk from like stores from the top down, maybe.
Sure.
Let's talk about like who is the top contender in the stores? Like who's
As per
drawing in the
usual,
most volume?
yeah.
Those types of things. Maybe we could start there.
Yeah, so as per usual, OpenSea is the first name that most people hear. And as
Mm.
much as, there's a lot of strife in that marketplace and things that happen, they were kind of the first in the market to deliver a well functioning product and a place for us to buy and sell NFTs. Um, and it does all the things that you need it to do reasonably, but not particularly well. I think the only thing that I'm ever annoyed with is their search function. Um, what about you?
The data function. Like you don't get to see enough data about the actual metadata itself.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think it exposes enough information about the
Yeah.
asset. You have to really go looking for a lot of information. And I comparatively, I'm not sure how that compares. I have to go look at all the other ones because they update these so often.
Yeah.
But that's just been my experience is there's just not enough information. Go into the details and
Right.
if you wanted to find the original, sometimes you had no idea where to go. You have to start hunting it down. I'd say
Yeah.
that you could do a lot better job of exposing where the asset is located, the
Mm-hmm.
exact place, not don't make me go find it, you know?
And you're gonna have to, even if you've already got one of their that collection's NFTs. Sorry, I'm trying to pull up a wallet that isn't my primary wallet here. Kind of show off how this all works. But let me see if I can do that right there. No, I'm just gonna switch to this account. By the way, don't show off your primary accounts. There we go. Okay. Well, I can safely show this screen. Bring it back over here. Oh, bother. Get back in there. Cool. No, it happened anyway. That is super annoying, but whatever.
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
It's not like it's not all public information. So if you pop over to OpenSea, if you do want to find something, obviously just start searching for it. Let's try a board ape, and let's see what pops up. Board ape Claude. Oh, look at that! They are kind of coming up with a little bit better features for showing off the actual collection. And the thing I am looking for, which was Bored Ape Yacht Club, came up right away with a semi-reasonable search, and it does have a fair amount of information that you can take from this. Price history of the asset itself, up and to the right as per usual. It'll show you your properties, information about them, actual links directly to it, and I guess they are implementing a verified collection tool here at the top right. A couple of things that people don't normally know about are the refresh metadata button. If you are doing a project that has something that may change between launch and a few days later, you may need to use this refresh metadata to get the accurate and updated information showing for your asset.
Yep.
Bunch of other stuff over here. Price history. You can see who has offered anything down there. So that's always super useful. Anything you'd like to bring up about this site that we can teach people?
I think it's important to know what your asset is. Look over at the rarity, here it just shows you the rarity. It doesn't actually give you like an understanding of what that rarity really is comparatively. Like there are other sites that'll do that, but I would always look at the rarity of it. Can you go back? It looks like I'm not sure.
Oh, I popped into a different project. I can just grab something here for you. Yeah, so looking at the rarities down here is going to be under your properties. A better way to come up with a ranking is kind of what you're looking for there, is to use Rarity Tools, which is another super useful website. So there's Rarity Tools. And would it be helpful if I did a screen share directly to you, Lisa? I think I can do that.
No.
No? Okay.
I can see it.
Okay, yeah. So pop over to Rarity Tools.
It's just you were talking about one thing and then you moved away. That was the only thing that confused.
Sorry.
It's okay.
What you're seeing is 30 seconds behind. But so popping over to Rarity Tools is a great place to figure out what your asset is kind of valued as in the community. And if we go into over here in collections, number one, and it shows 7-day volume, a ranking of what is being traded actively right now. As per usual, Bored Ape Yacht Club is up there, Mutant Ape Yacht Club, Clone X. Number one is Women of the Galaxy. So let's pop over there and see what that's kind of looking like.
I'm guessing, I'm going to bet it's the first woman project.
I mean, it very well likely is.
Sorry, that's a joke.
I'm with you on it. I really am.
Let's just be honest. A lot of the projects that are women developed always say like, we're the first woman, this or that. And yeah.
Yeah, it is super common.
What are we saying with that? I don't know.
I'm not sure. But so if you click on any asset, you can always search for your own, and you can pull up a lot of the stats about it. It'll also give it a rarity rank based on the number of units that are produced for this individual NFT. It'll give you a rarity score. These rarity scores, are they 1 to 100 or?
Yes, I think on this particular website, yes.
Okay. And it does change per website, and they give them these weird
81,
point
I believe so. Yeah,
values.
point values.
Um,
Those are like statistically bred. They're kind of like percent wise,
mhm.
like so yeah, I always find this to be kind of interesting.
Yeah. Well, and
Um, but a lot of times when you're talking about before about the reveal, you don't know unless you're buying something off of the secondary market and or the seller of the project has a reveal prior to launch
mhm,
or mint, then you won't know what you get until after it mints and they release the metadata. And so yeah,
exactly.
this rarity is important because if you're in the secondary market, you'd really want to look to see what the rarity is and measure the rarity of it comparatively to the project.
Yeah.
Now, two things, also there's going to be people that may want to buy a specific thing just because they like it more than another too. I mean,
Absolutely.
so
Yeah.
rarity is just one piece of the puzzle of
Yeah.
what's going to prompt somebody to see value.
Absolutely. And you definitely kind of have to go through and make those judgment calls for yourself. I mean, if you are seeing a project and you're valuing it because you like the art, chances are somebody else is going to as well. Just the rareness of these assets isn't the only thing that's gonna give it value. So that's definitely
Mhm.
something to consider. Long term project goals, who's the team behind it. People are far more important in this than the asset itself. Are the people behind the project someone
Right.
that'll do well? That
Yeah. Yeah.
has a track record.
Yeah.
Um,
Are they going to want to continue to provide value to the project or just leave or where's the project at?
absolutely.
Is there a community that can extend itself beyond 5 or 6 months? Is it strong enough? Will it,
Right.
those types of things.
Yeah. So that's a couple of those tools, and a couple places you can get NFTs reasonably. FTX.us has their own
So
NFT marketplace.
show them
Um,
what I showed you earlier, where it shows you how to see the marketplaces, like, and which one
Here
is
we go. Okay.
on top.
So the blockcrypto.com is an aggregated data tool, and it shows a lot of really, really cool data here. Just right off the top, looking at NFT marketplaces and the way that they move throughout the months. And you can see here, January 2022, um, it's actually showing you by color coding who is doing what kind of volume. OpenSea has been pretty consistent here, um, actually going up quite a bit, or were on a little downtrend right now, which tends to happen when the general crypto asset prices go up. People start selling
Right.
things off for profit, and so money flows out of the NFTs back into the crypto market, and then
Yep.
vice versa when you head back the other direction, and people start trying to protect their asset value or their total portfolio value.
Hmm.
And man, LooksRare is actually doing pretty dang good over the last couple of months compared to the rest of the market. And you can come over here and see LooksRare volume excluding wash trades on a daily scale.
Yeah.
Yeah, looks pretty reasonable. Let's get a year to date look here. Um, and how far is this going back? Why do I not get further back when I put? Oh, it's year to date.
You have to just the all.
Yeah,
If you're on all, which
I do love looking at an all
That
chart.
other one goes back to 20, sometimes early 2020, it looks like.
Yeah, I'm seeing 22 right now as the farthest back it'll let me go without. We can expand this tool and really get into it a little further. Um,
So yeah, I mean, so okay, are you making decision number one, where am I going to buy or sell my NFTs?
yep.
Do you want to do it on a market? Do you want to do it based upon the type of crypto that's going to be used in that market? Do you want to do it because you can buy it with fiat or your credit card? Do you want, or is it the specific type of art, or music or trading cards, whatever it is? I
Yeah.
mean, the market itself is you're going to make that decision based upon the variety of those different types of inputs. I mean, knowing how much volume is going through is definitely a good thing, but I think people will, move their money where they find things. Just kind of like we were talking about earlier, a Magic Eden is starting to eat in on both on all of these big players, and
Hmm.
we just learned that,
Yeah.
but if you look at the data, they're starting to eat in on all of these big players. So I don't think we've actually seen the markets anywhere near close to stabilize. I think there could be somebody coming out of left field and take all of this.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
I,
that's the way of crypto in general. So,
exactly. I mean, things innovate so fast around here. I think once somebody provides a better experience, that maybe they're gonna get that.
yeah.
I'll be honest. If I have multiple NFTs in the like OpenSea experience, I got to go click on every single one of them independently and look at the price, and then go to that page. It's not an investment experience. It's basically a directory
Hmm.
of information rather than a tool that will actually make good analysis on the assets that I actually bought on OpenSea.
Yeah. Um,
To do that, you got to be look at every single detail on each one specifically. You can't like look at your portfolio and see where it's trending.
yeah.
So,
Absolutely. And those kind of tools are definitely something that needs to come out of the woodwork, but I mean, that's along the lines of like an Oracle tool or something to that extent, where
I'm
you
sure they
need,
exist.
yeah,
They're
it could be out there. We just haven't found it yet, and that's kind of why I wanted to go over a lot of this. Is that there are so many tools out there that even spending every single day in the market in
right.
this space, there's something new that somebody else knows about that you don't. And I
Hmm.
just thought it would be really important to share a bunch of them. So Magic Eden is another marketplace that we kind of talked about earlier today.
This is still
Um,
Solana. It looks like it's a Solana marketplace.
yep. Magic DAO. I actually haven't really gone through here a whole lot.
I haven't either, but it's interesting that the amount of volume that it's doing, given that it's just Solana.
Yeah.
I'm just keep
Dude,
just that's just a
Solana's big
very
money.
interesting, just as a very interesting point. Um, that if
That's
it's starting to eat in on those two, only with Solana,
mm-hmm.
that says something. So
Yeah.
for me, I would go down the rabbit hole and follow that data and try to understand whether or not Solana itself is eating into the market, as an NFT purveyor. What's the word? Marketplace, I suppose. I don't know. It's Solana itself is,
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
Yep, I sure do. Just as another smart contract chain that is starting to take away business and interest from, the very niche market that is NFTs. I mean,
Right.
even bringing in celebrities, NFTs as a market whole, as the entire scope of NFTs is still very, very small compared to so
Mhm.
many other things in the world. But there's just so much money moving around. It's absolutely wild. Um,
Yeah, and then according to the data, at least they still think that we're about 5 years from mass adoption.
okay.
If that's pretty wild if you think about it, that we haven't even reached critical peak. We aren't even close to critical peak or mass adoption, and this is where we're at. It's going to get pretty crazy
Absolutely. Okay.
in a fun way.
Since I know you're running out of time here real fast, let's kind of
Oh goodness, that went fast. Yeah.
skim over a bunch of the other really important tools that we like to
Okay.
use. So you brought up Collabland earlier. Um,
Collabland. That's for people that are creating NFT projects, or
mhm.
obviously if you're a part of a project that has consistent payouts,
Yeah.
for example, a utility of some sort. Some of these projects use Collabland.
Okay.
So
All right. All right.
you'll see Collabland in Discord. If you use Discord, it's called collab.land.
Yep.
It's a user-friendly tokenized community management system. So you'll see this being used pretty widely across some projects. So if you see this being used, especially like connecting your wallet in Discord, it's safe. But I would not start going connecting my wallets to a lot of other things unless I double checked it. Even if it was a payout on a utility on my NFT,
Yeah.
I wouldn't connect my wallet to that payout system unless I understood what I was connecting my wallet to.
Yeah. Absolutely. So that's a super useful tool for creators. Super Rare is just
Oh,
another.
by the way, just to side note,
Yeah.
this is also a validator against who owns the NFT,
Oh.
and that helps parse out utility.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, that's super useful, especially having that Discord bot. available.
Now, I don't know everything about it, but that's just kind of what they're intending to do, which is really good, but that market needs to be served.
Yeah. I'll come back to these stories. Rarity Tools we kind of already talked about. OX Tracker is a tool that I actually have found very, very useful here. You can link any of your wallets, even just the point of copy and pasting a wallet address, and it'll aggregate a bunch of data for you, showing you very complex things, even up to the point of what kind of taxes you may be able to expect based on your trading habits. And it's not, you can log in and make a profile and keep stuff saved there. You can also just use it as a surface level tool. Super nice. If you are operating in the Stargaze NFT space, Hubble Tools popped up here a couple weeks ago just to kind of show, again, Rarity Tools, because there wasn't a tool for this on this network.
Did you say Hubble Tools?
Hubble.tools is the name of that site. And that is specifically for the Stargaze Launchpad and all the Stargaze NFTs. So we just needed something in that space, and somebody filled the role, which is fantastic. And the website has exponentially gotten better over the last 2 weeks. So this is a very, very new tool, and I really appreciate the people working on it. Moving right along, since, again, you're running out of some time here, very big tool for any kind of traders out there is going to be TradingView. Along with, using other top aggregate sites and, pricing sites like CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko. I mean, these are really simple, but people don't always know about them. And CoinGecko has tools that you can do, like you can actually enter in your trades. You can show in a list, all your favorite tokens that you're following, watching, and it'll also give you, how much money you've made off of each trade. When you can tell it you sold off this much and that much, and put in your actual portfolio values to kind of keep track of it. I don't always suggest that, but it is a tool out there for you. Lots of really good news and information on basic tokens and almost anything that's out in the cryptocurrency markets over on CoinMarketCap. And what else is super useful to individuals?
Calendars. NFT release calendars.
Yes.
Those are super useful. Sometimes it's really hard to get an idea. There's so much going on in the marketplace, so you have to get an idea of what's swirling all around you.
You do. And
so NFT calendars I've found have been very helpful for me to just sometimes keep in mind those can be promoted and they'll show as promoted, but they'll also list ones that aren't promoted, and because obviously that site wants you to go to that site to look at the calendar. So
absolutely,
there's value in them posting things that aren't promoted and so on and so forth.
Yep. So here's a quick glance at NFT Calendar. They do have a really good Discord channel. Crypto Jobs List is also a very good tool. That's cryptojobslist. Is it com or
.io? Oh, .com, I think.
Cryptojobslist.com.
It's .com.
Yep. Cryptocurrencyjobs.co is always a very good tool if you are in the market for a job. These are great places to look. They look very similar too, which I find bothersome because I get mixed up between them. Here's a very important tool for myself, being that I'm fully involved in the Cosmos ecosystem. CosmosAirdrops.io is a very, very important tool. Make sure you are not missing out on free money because you don't know about an airdrop that's coming down. These guys aggregate data and put it out here for us, everything you possibly need to know. And this is one of those places where it's kind of a verified information source where you are going to end up in the right website if you go through here. And
cool.
Yeah, that one just came up to me the other day, so I was super excited about that. But other than that, I think
good stuff.
Yeah,
good tools. Lots of many a tool. Many a tool.
Is there any what is, and this is going to be an app less than a website, more likely, that you would use for working with or checking through data as far as coding goes. I use Visual Studios now. I kind of picked that up the other day. There was
You mean like validating it?
I mean,
or
like
just looking at it,
working with it, using command prompt, anything you need to be doing.
Let me look to see what I have. A couple of them.
Yeah, I end up with like 5 all at once. And somebody brought up Visual Studios, and it was by far the easiest to work with for myself as a non-coding
It's been a minute
individual.
since I've been in Visual Studios.
Yeah.
Almost forgot about Visual Studios.
Yeah, and
that's weird. That I almost forgot. I guess that's the weird part.
Right. Yeah, this is my my repo of Stargaze tools while I was working on building up my NFT project.
You can view code in HTML. I mean, it just depends on what you're trying to view, I guess. If you're looking at source code, like HTML source code, you can just view that in HTML itself. So what code are you referring to, I suppose? I mean, GitHub code? Like
Yeah. So that
in GitHub?
You can do it through GitHub. GitHub is a huge tool that most of us do use pretty regularly. If you aren't familiar with GitHub, you definitely should be.
By the way, GitHub has a lot of really, side note, GitHub has a really great blog or learning center. I'm not sure what it is, but they have a lot of really great information, by the way, just in general. Yeah. Just a great learning center there.
So this is definitely a big tool for anyone in the space. Check it out. And I mean, to the point where you can go through and you can start reading and learning about what the actual code behind Bitcoin is. You know, it's that far in. When somebody says open source, this is what they're talking about. They're talking about it's posted on GitHub, and you can go through and use that data and make a repository and operate using somebody else's code for free.
Yeah, or just view it and for the validity of it, or look at the comments on it. I think that's really important for people when they're looking, if they like to look at code. I mean, that the great thing is you can go there and just see how people have created things too. You know,
absolutely.
I don't know, sneak attacks. I don't know.
Sneak attacks. Yeah.
I saw your code. Now what? Look what I did.
Yep. Well, and that's also how a lot of these.
I mean, that's how innovation happens. You know, one person sees that code and they get really inspired to create something, and cool.
Absolutely.
I'm down with it. I back in the sorry, I'm gonna go back to grade. Like go back in my mind, but like back when software was really early, and oh my god, I'm aging myself right now. But when software was really early. Freeware wasn't just a thing. That was a mentality. Freeware was a mentality. It was a movement. Freeware was the mind that everything should be made like software is for the people. Anyway, so that's just a side note. That's kind of where that mentality came from, is of not just of sharing code and just in general, but of having open source.
Absolutely.
AKA freeware.
Whatever. Right. So, sounds like we're going to have to kill it for today. Yes. Lisa's got to go do some actual business lady things.
Like life stuff, yeah.
Since she's the lifing person that she is, as we all are.
Since we're doing life.
Right. So, it has been a fantastic podcast as usual, and indeed. I will let you get on with your day. Thank you for showing up. And
yes, you're welcome. Thanks you for showing up.
Yes, I know, right? That may become less.
Hey, it's fun.
Less regular here.
Hey,
soon.
You know what? Thanks for showing up in life is something I don't think people get thanked enough for. So thank you for showing up.
I appreciate that. Oh, you know what? That is the one piece of advice that I have gotten from a president, straight from the horse's mouth. I met George Bush Sr. And that
interesting.
Was the advice that he gave me is 50% of life is showing up. So you're halfway there if you showed up. Good job.
Exactly. So. The hard part is showing up. Yep. All right. Well, have a great Friday and a weekend.
Yep. Happy Friday, everyone. And this was not an April Fool's. We are actually leaving.
So we didn't do any jokes. I'm not that good at.
Yeah, that's not my thing. My birthday was a few days ago, and I never remember. So.
I mean, I even failed at a Reddit post today just because they changed the name from cats to dogs for the
Oh
group, and I just
no.
I already failed.
You've
I
been
already failed at April
sabotaged.
Fools. I already failed at April Fools today. I
Oh.
can't fail again. So
Okay.
April Fools.
April Fools didn't happen. Thank you everybody for showing up. Have a great
Yeah.
day.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh.
Oh my god.